We are 1 week and 5 hours away from the NFL draft. Could you imagine if the draft was here this year? The Pistons up having a home playoff game? What would they do? They might have. They wouldn't. Obviously they wouldn't move the playoff game. Maybe to Friday, but they still got a huge amount of people downtown on a Friday last year.
No, I think it actually would work out perfectly for them because Detroit, all the people who were there, plus the extra people going to the Pistons game, this is where, you really showcase the city because now it's like, look at everything going on in Detroit. I think that's actually what you wish would happen. I get what you're saying.
I don't know where people would park for the Pistons game.
So now we know the real strategy to Iserman last year. Don't make the playoffs and cause gridlock in downtown. Now it makes more sense.
No,
I get it now.
David, he was just waiting to break out the players in 2028. You just wait. You just wait.
248-539-9797. By the way, they go for their fourth in a row tonight. Close out the season in Toronto.
Hit that same drop again, Rico.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
David, ticket texts.
Holmes wants more elite offensive players. He trades up, no doubt. It might be for a running back, so don't be surprised.
Oh, come on. No.
No. Here's the thing. I'm not surprised by anything this man does. I mean, he clearly is like, I can do whatever. Detroit's going to embrace it. So I've learned a long time ago. There's players who I like, and then there's players he's going to take. But I agree with the player. He's going to move up, and I promise you, I'm not going to like the player.
Okay, it won't be for a running back. Unless they plan on cutting David Montgomery or trading him.
They just paid the man.
Right. Or they're going to trade Gibbs, which I think if that would no, they're not
it's not a running back.
It's not a running back, okay?
I will say this though. I've changed my stance on this. Before the show, I thought they would stand pat. I truly believe that. I'm like, I don't see anything happening. But there was a cut that was played during the update that changed my mind. I'm going to play this. We have a great roster already, but it's not going to lessen my desire. I think Brad Holmes loves it to just trade up. I think he's going to trade up. I think he enjoys that more than sex. I think he enjoys when the draft comes around. He's going to find a way to get that guy.
Oh, wait, hold on. I could just Brad.
No.
Brad.
No.
Please, Brad. No.
Cut his mic.
No.
David.
No, honey. No.
All right.
I have to trade up. I want to trade up.
Okay. I think Brad Holmes, when he says desire like that, I think he enjoys it. It makes his year. And I think because of that soundbite, I think it changed my mind.
Okay,
he's trading up.
Okay,
David,
so why
half his drafts he's traded
right?
up.
Okay, so the other half he hasn't. And here's the other thing: so you're only taking that part of the soundbite, but you're not taking the part where he says be patient. He could be patient too.
Nope, I'm not taking that. I'm not using that part
because I don't think he is.
I don't think either.
I think he's got a plethora of third-round selections. Third-round draft picks. He's going to parlay that into trying to move up. And I don't think it's a top 10 pick, but I think he'll move up to, somewhere between 21 to 24, kind of like how they did Terry and Arnold last year. All of a sudden you'll hear, hey, Lions are on the clock now. Oh, my goodness, who are they got? Who do they really want? Why? Because last year, corners were starting to come off, and I think the corner who they wanted ended up going to Philly. So they're like, "Yeah, we gotta do something. We got to make sure we get at least our guy at corner." And they end up with Arnold, and then they followed it up with Rakestraw.
Right. I have no problem if he trades up, depending on who he gets. I think.
You're right. Running back, I think, is right up there with quarterback. I don't think they're going after a quarterback or running back.
Punter, no, they're not trading up for that.
Are you shocked? Would you really be shocked if they took a wide receiver? Would you really be shocked if a guy like,
McMillan or
Colston Loveland is sitting there? And they say, you know what? We're going to go ahead and upgrade our tight end room.
Well, if they do that, that means they definitely have no intentions of extending Laporta when his deal's up.
Or you just run 2 tight ends.
Yeah, but you don't need 2. Well, we don't know if Loveland or let's say it's Warren to keep them.
I think Warren's gone.
Okay.
But if Loveland is there, then why not? I mean, now you can run a jumbo package, and you know what you don't have to do? Dan Skipper doesn't have to be eligible. You can just put 2 tight ends out there on the field.
248-539-9797.
That I'm so sick of. I'm sorry.
You don't like the Dan Skipper?
No.
Wow.
Because now every time he does, the crowd has to like. Okay.
They're kind of giving it away too when they cheer it.
Hear me out. You just get a tight end who could actually do tight end type of things.
Well, sometimes they play 2 tight ends and Dan Skipper.
The element of surprise went away in Dallas because now
I know
he would have to put on a mask just to go out on the field so people wouldn't know who he was. Second he walks in that spot, the crowd cheers and you just gave away the play.
Well, okay. They announced that he's eligible first of all, but it was funny the first few times. I got it, yeah, and so maybe the crowd cheering is a little much ado about nothing, but a lot of teams run that same formation.
I'm saying I get the formation.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if Colston Loveland, how about we just put a tight end and let a tight end do tight end things and not Skipper?
I got you.
I'm sorry. I digress. David, go ahead.
Ticket text here says the Lions are getting an O lineman or a D lineman round 1, and I 100% expect them to get the one they want. They're going to trade up for it. You guys listen to the inflection in Brad's voice when you listen to that audio again. That sounds like a guy who is ready to trade down.
The thing about that is, at least he said that nobody's really asking for that Lions spot right now. So, as he said, you got to have 2 to dance here, and I don't think anybody, at least as of now. Now,
is he telling the truth? I mean, he's not going to say, yeah, we got a call the other day from somebody who wants to trade. He's not going to say
Jackson
that.
Dart and Shedeur Sanders, I think, are the key to all of a sudden them moving back down.
Correct.
If Shedeur doesn't get drafted and he gets past the Saints, I think all bets are off because now the Giants and now the Browns are going to look and say, hey, we can move up. Hey, Detroit, you want to move back 4 spots and get your guy and we'll give you extra whatever and you can still take your guy because we need that quarterback. That's when all of a sudden I think his phone call will happen. I don't think that's going to happen, Stoney. That's why I think they're going. I think he may go into the game. Go into the draft saying, I'm just going to pick 20. Like he's going to have a little note in his pocket. Pick 28, no matter what. But in the end, yeah, he's not going to do like Kevin Costner. He's going to go ahead and he's going to move up.
The other thing,
trade up.
He'll probably have notes in his pocket if you want to use that expression or whatever. He's going to have a list probably of 3 or 4 guys that are worth trading up for, that he might. And he also has a list of maybe 3 or 4 guys that, you know what, if they're there at 28, I'm going to try to trade down because I think I can get them later if somebody wants to move back in the first round.
And I think what's going to happen, I agree with you. I think what's going to happen, he's going to tip his hand when all of a sudden a run happens. And if it's the run of that position group, I got to move up and get one of our guys. Because the top one we thought would slide to us, he's now gone. I don't want to be sitting here with nothing and getting the 4th best player. I'm going to move up. If nobody selects him, let's just say defensive tackle. And there's all those guys just kind of sitting there and, there's Nolan and there's Derek Harm. Like, you know what? We may not have to do anything. But if all of a sudden, the Steelers select Walter Nolan and this, now we got to jump in there.
Yes,
all right.
Indeed.
I got to move up now.
248-539-9797.